In the latest Evil Dead movie, a family living in a near derelict apartment block happened upon an evil book that brings forth an entity of pure evil. They and their few remaining neighbours must then tackle this issue as best they can. Evil Dead Rise is a well-made, good-looking horror flick that succeeds in nailing the key points, but fails in making the movie stand out amongst a crowd of familiar horror movies. At its core, this is a movie about possession. It goes on a grisly, gory, violent journey, but at the end of the day, it's just another possession movie. The scares and the horror are lacking, in my opinion. There are jumps, there are some creepy imagery, and there's some good lighting and mise-en-scène. The sets are great. It all works to create a good tone and look and atmosphere, but it's very traditional and unoriginal. Not helping matters is the heavy-handed foreshadowing, from characters wielding objects and talking about certain items and possessions early on, to locations featuring clear set pieces for later in the movie. It makes Evil Dead Rise very predictable. You know what's going to happen. Not helping matters are the characters who are simply unlikable people. The movie only has a handful of characters, and yet none of them are all that engaging or interesting or likable, with the exception of the children. The cast is good, they each bring their characters to life and add some depth to them, but the movie doesn't make me care about them all that much. Quite the opposite, in fact. It makes me want to see them dead, because they say and do horrible things a lot of the time, with a few exceptions like I mentioned. There's also a goofy side to the movie, which is in league with the prior Evil Dead movies. There are a few corny lines and over-the-top gore that helps here and too in that regard. It makes for a very fun, entertaining outing sometimes when the action and the horror takes over. But outside of the action and the horror, the set pieces and the exciting moments, the movie does drag a little bit. Evil Dead Rise is a competently made movie with unlikable characters. It excels as an action horror flick, just one without much originality. It's predictable and unoriginal. Its action and gore are fun, and on a visual and auditory level, it's pretty good. Overall, it's okay.